Hello, my friends. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about constitution and doshas. Um, First, about constitution. Everyone's constitution is determined at birth. It is what constitutes our bodies, meaning the out of the five elements, what is predominant in you and what is not as predominant in you, right? So we're all made up of the five elements, and depending on what the ratio of elements are, is what your constitution is. It's your harmonious state of balance, um, also known as your dosha or your prakriti in Ayurveda. So, um, then you also have your Vikruti, which is your current state of imbalance, which is important to know so that way you can get back to your harmonious balance, your Prakruti. Once you determine what your constitution is, you can learn a little bit more about the different constitutions, the doshas. So there are three: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Vata is cold, dry, and irregular. Pitta is hot, oily, and irritable. Kapha is cold, wet, and stable. Each one of these doshas or these energies are important in their respective way. So, for instance, with Vata, Vata is governed by kinetic energy. So there's a lot of movement related to the Vata dosha. Pitta is, with Vata people, dominated people, oftentimes they burn up their energy really quickly. So as soon as they get energy, they sometimes waste energy. So working on balancing and storing energy as a practice is good for Vata. With Pitta, it's very transformative type of energy. It's in charge of balancing and managing the energies between Vata and Kapha. Pitta people oftentimes are very efficient at using energy, and the Pitta is what balances the two Vata and Kapha. The Kapha energy is governed by the potential energy. So Kapha people have a tendency to store energy, and they're really good and predispositioned genetically to save and store their energy really well. And they're in need of stimulation sometimes. They're the storers. So all three of these different doshas, they're very different. They all serve a purpose and they all function harmoniously together. We just have to figure out how to balance them. And by learning about ourselves individually, then we can learn about these different doshas and how it fits within our world and how we can use it to our advantage to improve our health and wellness. It's definitely not a system that just replaces your current wellness system or going to the doctor, but it enhances your wellness, especially if you find that you're out of balance. It can make a significant difference for people like that are out of balance and can't figure out how to feel better. So, these imbalances can manifest themselves in ways that we can observe. So part of like being in awareness and touching base with oneself on a daily basis, or as often as possible, is helpful, because then we can start noticing these sometimes more subtle differences that can indicate an imbalance. And the sooner and more subtle ways we can catch it, the less likely it will manifest in a more physical or pronounced way within our health. So staying in awareness and really on top of what's going on, even on a subtle level within yourself, can prevent It's like preventative healthcare for yourself. So some ways of seeing imbalance with the Vata dosha. Um, Vata people, when they're out of balance, can be tired or fatigued, have lack of focus or be forgetful, spaced out or scattered, difficulty falling asleep, occasional constipation, can feel cold physically, poor circulation, especially in the hands and feet, and feelings of anxiousness or worry. So these are Vata imbalances that can manifest. A balanced Vata dosha is energetic and vivacious, learns easily, clear and alert mind, falls asleep easily at bedtime, balanced digestion and elimination, good circulation, and even body temperature. There are 5 doshas of Vata. So the Vata governs all the movement in the mind and the body. And within the Vata dosha, they separate into 5 different sub-doshas that are responsible for moderating the movement within the body, the physical movement in the physical body. So there's Prana Vata, which governs the senses, creative thinking, reasoning, and enthusiasm. When out of balance, Prana Vata can lead to worry, an overactive mind, sleep problems, and difficulty breathing. Udana Vata governs the quality of voice, memory, and movements of thought. When out of balance, Udana Vata can lead to respiratory issues, throat and ear discomfort, and general fatigue. The Samana Vata governs movement of food through the digestive tract. If Samana Vata moves out of balance, it can cause slow or rapid digestion, gas, intestinal cramps, poor assimilation, and weak tissues. Apana Vata governs elimination of waste, sexual function, and menstrual cycle. If out of balance, Apana Vata can lead to intestinal cramps, menstrual problems, lower back pain, irregularity, occasional diarrhea or constipation, and gas. Vyana Vata is the last subdosha of Vata. It governs blood flow, heart rhythm, perspiration, and the sense of touch. When out of balance, Vyana Vata can cause dry or rough skin, nervousness, shakiness, poor blood flow, and stress-related problems. So I'm thinking we'll do a separate section or a separate lesson about how to balance the doshas. So right now we're just going to focus on what the doshas are. So the Pitta dosha is that fire, that digestive Agni fire within, and within really just the body. It has to do with a lot of the transformation and flow. So some out of balance ways of seeing some out of balance Pitta, controlling fiery personality, workaholic tendencies, warm, overheated, excess stomach acid, skin rashes and acne, interrupted sleep, and loose bowel movements. Those are imbalances that can manifest from a Pitta imbalance. And a Pitta imbalance is very type A personality, perfectionist, strong intellect, strong digestion, radiant glowing skin, sleeps through the night, inner peace and happiness. The 5 sub-doshas of Pitta, they're very much related to the transformation, again, remember. And I am probably not going to pronounce these correctly, but I'm going to try. The Aloshaka Pitta governs the functioning of eyes, inner and outer vision. When out of balance, it can lead to bloodshot eyes or poor vision. The Brajaka Pitta governs the healthy glow of the skin. When out of balance, can manifest as redness in the skin, skin irritation, rashes, or acne. Sadhaka Pitta governs the emotional heart, desire, drive, decisiveness, and spirituality. If this is out of balance, it can lead to demanding, perfectionist, and workaholic tendencies. And then the last, there's two more. Pachaka Pitta governs digestion, assimilation, and metabolism for health, nutrients, and tissues. If out of balance, it can lead to symptoms like bloating, upset stomach, acid in the stomach, and food cravings. Ranjaka Pitta governs healthy, toxin-free blood. If out of balance, can lead to toxins in the blood, anger, and even early graying of the hair. So those are for the Pitta dosha. And we'll get to ways of balancing again in another lesson. So lastly, we'll talk about the Kapha dosha. The Kapha dosha is, if out of balance, the people of the Kapha dosha can gain weight very easily. They can have sluggish digestion, prone to sinus and respiratory issues, lethargy, feelings of sadness, difficulty waking up, and food cravings. So that Kapha dosha already is all about stability and, more slow movements and steadiness. And so when it's out of balance, it can be very easily almost in like a depressive type of state. When a Kapha is in balance, they have stable temperament, good long-term memory, healthy, robust physiology, strength and stamina, compassionate and affectionate, and sound sleep. The 5 sub-doshas of Kapha involve the lubrication of the body, so lubrication for the joints and lungs, formation of the tissues. It has to do with growth and weight. Nutritive fluids, blood, fat, muscles, bones, marrow, and reproductive tissues. The Kapha dosha helps the Pitta and Vata slow down. So it is a very important part of balance. The 5 subdoshas are Tarpaka of Kapha, governs moisture for the nose, mouth, eyes, and brain. When out of balance, it can lead to sinus congestion and a poor sense of smell. The Bodhaka Kapha governs the sense of taste, essential for good digestion. If out of balance, it can manifest as poor sense of taste or food cravings due to lack of fulfillment. Kladaka Kapha governs the moisture of the stomach lining for good digestion. If out of balance, it can lead to impaired digestion or poor absorption. Avalambaka Kapha protects the heart, strong muscles, and healthy lungs. When out of balance, Kapha, this dosha can lead to lethargy, respiratory problems, or lower back pain. And the last subdosha is Shlashaka Kapha, and that governs the lubrication of joints, soft and supple skin. If out of balance, it can lead to weight gain, oily skin, and loose or painful joints. So those are the 3 doshas and a little bit more about them and the subdoshas to give you an idea of how complex you can actually get down to when you're studying the doshas, how to balance yourself, possibilities, and what could be off balance. And I'm hoping that has been useful to you. If you have any questions, you can feel free to send me a message through my website, thebodyowl.com. And I am offering, for a limited time anyway, free consultations to determine if you need help determining your constitution and your current state of imbalance. So make sure to check out my website and join the classes that I'm having free through Facebook. And really, any messages you need, questions, send them my way. Sending you love and positive vibes.